Hey. You know what time it is.
It's time for the Heart to Heart Journey to Unconditional Love podcast.
Absolutely. And I am your host, Renee Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlan Brown. And Harlan Brown, what's going on? What's going on?
How are you? How are you? Everything is good.
Hey man, I'm stuffed. I'm stuffed from this holiday cheers. You know what I
I am.
mean? Let me take my glasses off and be like, yeah, let's get into the mix of things. You know what I mean? Hey, I heard we had some really good podcasts post the last few days, man. I've been getting a lot of because I'm traveling. I'm traveling. I gotta do what I do, and I've been hearing good things about what we've been doing. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I'm thankful for God giving us the opportunity to do this podcast and do it together. And it's
It's been
great.
good.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better partner. So I appreciate that. But what we gonna get the people, for this got a holiday festivity cheer. What we gonna give them?
Um, what are we gonna give them?
You always gonna leave it to me. I gotta figure it out. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do this. We're gonna have a heart-to-heart conversation about understanding change. I think one of the things in relationships is a lot of people when they get together, they love the people where they are. You love that person, whatever. But I don't think they understand that they're going to change and their mate is going to change. It's just change is inevitable, and that's just how it goes. And I think that's a disconnect, and that's a very challenging for couples when they're journeying through their relationships to navigate how to deal with those changes. So we just want to help the audience today. Well, at least I know you might have known what we was talking about right now, but I want to, just go over that and see what we can do to help, our audience on understanding change and being able to deal with it and know that it's not the end of the world if their partner did change to do something else.
So let's unpack change a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And
Unpack
I'm
it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying let's unpack change a little bit because I think a lot of times people um may say change, but in what sense? Like I'm only asking so I can be like better in speaking on it because we do have different levels of change. Or you mean change in just normal things or just
Yeah.
inconsistencies in how the relationship was going before or a whole 360, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I get it.
how do we walk through how do we walk through through change if we're not really understanding a change?
Well, you start where you think you start where you think. What's your questions that you might have about this change and where at? Like, let's start with one of the things that where you think this could be an issue in relationships and type of changes that people go through.
I think it can be in different levels. It could be change in career, it could be change in um just I don't know, it could be changed in so many different ways. You know what I mean? It could like
Yeah,
it's so many different levels of change, right? It's like you meet people, you love them where they are, and that's the person that you're with. But
yeah,
then, like you said, change is inevitable. Things come up in
right.
relationships, so it could be any kind of change. So I
Okay.
guess for me, it's just um, for me, I know that change is coming, but I think it should be um conversation should be consistent about change because that's the only way you can really understand if the change is really having an effect on your relationship. I think
All right,
sometimes
let's start with just a person changing. So I had a conversation with, my boys the other day, and I don't like hanging out no more. I don't like going to a club, and let's say a couple, they used to going out and they go to a club, whatever. But I decide like, I don't want to go to the club no more. That's not my scene. But the significant other, the spouse, The other person say, well, I still like going to the club, what have you. So that's a change. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? So that's something that happens, and I've seen happen in relationships. That's just not my scene. I'm more, I'll do a happy hour here or there, but I don't want to be hanging out late at night. I need my rest now. I ain't trying to be out all night out of hours, and I can listen to the music that I want to listen to at home. So I know a lot of couples deal with that because, again, some couples met at the club and they enjoyed themselves. They like dancing, they like doing whatever. And then just one week is like, okay, I don't even want to do this club scene no more. It's getting crazy. Crowd is getting younger. I'm not
Yeah.
getting any younger, and I really ain't trying to hang out all the time. So that's one change. So kind of walk the audience through if that's something that was happening in your relationship, how you would deal with that change and how they could deal with that change if it happens.
So if you guys met, like, and like that's a good example. Um, I think that in those kind of situations, as we get older, as we grow up, there's a lot of things that we don't want to do anymore. A lot of times people get stuck in that same hamster wheel of doing the same thing repeatedly over and over and over again without having any change. I think in those situations it's such a welcoming um it's so welcoming for somebody to have another idea, right? So we went to the club every night. Instead of going to the club every night, how about we, I don't know, do a paint class? How about we um go to something different, maybe a poetry slam, or maybe we could stay home, or maybe we could do some, maybe we could have something at home that's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
how about
But
like,
you talking more. You talking more. All right. You talking more. Hey, you changed, and you want me to change with you, but no, I still want to go to the club.
well, if you still
Talk to
want to go,
me.
oh, okay, talk to the club goer.
Talk to me. Like talk to me. Like go ahead. You don't have to go to the club. I'm still gonna go to the club.
Oh, okay, well,
Yeah, like that. That's on you. If you don't want to go no more, that's fine. But I like hanging out at my spot. I like my spot. I got my bartender. We good. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me
there's
about
a
that.
lot of yeah,
How do
yeah, there's a
how do
lot
you
of
work
times
through? How do you work through that?
you work through that. Both people have to work through that. You can't just be stubborn and say this is what's going to happen. Period. Like that's not it because you need to
But you
understand that
changed up on me. You
yes,
changed up
your
on me. You don't
significant
want to go to the
other.
club no more. Now I still want to go.
You're not even paying attention to your significant other. If your significant other is not having fun at that club anymore, if they're
You
not,
never said you wasn't having fun. You just said you didn't want to go no more.
but you see that the person is not having fun when you're doing something and
There
you're
wasn't
acting.
that I was having fun. It's just not my scene no more. It's not that they not having
Wait a
fun.
minute. Okay, so who am I talking to? So am I talking to the person who wants to go to the club or the person who doesn't want to go to the club?
Well,
Because
okay. So I'm going to be the person that still wants to go to the club.
okay, if you still want to go to the club and that's it, bottom line, there's no conversation, no talk about it, then go. It's not gonna improve your relationship. It's not gonna make anything better. It's probably gonna make things worse. My thing is
But
if
because
you
you
pay,
changed, I gotta change.
you don't have to change. You can continue on doing exactly what you want to do. It just depends on what's important to you. Now, if your spouse,
But you
if the
making it
person
seem like that's the end all the be all.
no,
And
I'm
I
saying,
think, but you know
but
what?
you're
I think that's
saying,
what happens in relationships too.
but you're
Because now
saying
you giving me an ultimatum. It seems like.
no, I'm not giving you an ultimatum. I'm saying go.
Like, well, if you
Because
want to go
at
to
the
the club,
end,
you go to the club.
no,
If you don't, if you working about your relationship and all this,
no,
I mean, see,
not,
this is perfect. I'm glad we even having this conversation because
exactly.
this is how these
I
conversations
need
go,
you to
and we're trying to
understand.
prevent people from having these conversations. Yeah,
I am
see,
trying to help you to understand this.
okay,
If you go and if you're bent and determined, flat-footed, standing 10 toes down, that's my club, that's what I'm doing. You the one who changed. I still like going there and I'm gonna still go there.
yeah,
You're not giving me as a spouse any kind of say so whatsoever
but
because
I'm not.
you have decided you're going regardless. Whether I go with you or not, you still going. So
Yeah,
you have
because you
already made your
decided to change,
determination. Right.
but that has nothing
I
to do with
said,
me. You don't want to go to the club. That has nothing to do with me.
It has nothing to do with you, but what you need to understand is I should have something to do with you, not
Oh, you
necessarily.
do, but okay. Like if you don't want to go to the club, that's what I like doing. So you're gonna take away something that I like
I'm
doing
not taking
just because
away
you don't want
anything
to do
from
it
you.
anymore.
I'm not taking away
So
anything
how do
from
we work through this?
you. Do you really, if you really need to have that club, you really need to go to that club, go.
See, but that's the problem. Listen how you
Because you're
said
not
that to me.
listening to me. Because you're not, because you
Listen,
don't want to hear anything that I have to say. You're
I'm
going to the club, right?
well.
So
We just
that's why it ends up in, okay, go. Because the
okay. So
conversation is not even, there's not a conversation about it. There's no conversation. It's, we used to go to the club. I love the club and I'm still going to the club. Whether
right.
you go or not, I'm still going to be there.
So,
So
but
if
you
I'm saying, you know what, I done outgrow the club. If you even paid attention to me while we was in the club last week, you would have noticed I started yawning and leaning on the bar about 10 o'clock. And I was just like, you sure you want to
okay?
go
Well,
anymore?
that's you. No problem. That's you.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be the way that you're giving it to me right now. Like I'm not listening. I heard you, but I'm just telling you, okay, you can go ahead and stay at the crib. I'm gonna go to the club because I still like going to the club.
What am I supposed to do? I don't want to go.
All right,
I
then
mean,
don't
there's
go.
no, so then I won't go. That's why I said go.
Right, but it's like go. Like if you want to be, and it's like, well, you're gonna have problems when you come back home. That's what it sounds
Why
like to
would
me.
you have problems when you come back home? I just said go.
Yeah,
Go.
but you're not saying go with have fun, enjoy yourself. You was just like, just go, go,
Because at
go.
the
And
end of the
but you know what? This is
because
crazy because
because what
this is
you
not
just
even our
told me,
situation. And
right?
look,
But what you just said, right?
yeah,
What you just said when we talked about it, and which we didn't have a conversation about, what we talked about was you just said, but I like going to the club. I could go
right,
with I'm going anyway, whether you go or not.
yeah.
So what am I supposed to say? I'm not gonna beg you to stay home. You already made up your mind. All I can say at this point is bye. Go ahead.
So how
Go.
can we help the audience not get to a point we just got to when this is not even a situation? And it's crazy because even it just goes to perception. When somebody changes, it's automatically perceived that it's something bad or I don't want to deal with it or what have you. You have to embrace the change, audience. You have to embrace the change. There's a way to come at it. There's a way to have that conversation. And it's not the way that me and Harlem Brown had right now because again, and again, when we're playing on it, but we kind of played on it where this is real. This is real, and how it happens in households, and we want to make sure that you understand that it's okay for people to change. It's okay for yeah, you don't want to go to the club anymore, but your significant other still wants to go. Hey, champion them. Just be like, okay, that's fine. I'm not like that no more. I'm good. I had my share. You still want to go out there? That's fine. I believe in you enough and trust you enough. You're gonna do the right thing. So I'm good. So I don't believe me. I don't have no hangups about what you're doing. I just ask that you be careful because the club is getting crazy, and other things. But don't come back at them because he came at you because he or she came at you because they couldn't understand the change. Because that's what really what it is. We don't understand the change. Like, well, you don't want to come hang out with me, and then you make it personal.
Why
Like
can't Right?
it's
You make
me.
it like, well, I don't like that. I think that's what kind of fuels it, right? Because first of all, I don't want to go anymore. Not saying that you can't go, but I'm just saying I don't want to go. But don't make me feel like the bad person or now I'm just sticking in the mud because I don't want to do what you want to do. And
Yeah,
that's
but
okay.
I want my baby at the club with me, yo. Come on, you know how we used to do.
That's how we used to do. But what we gonna do now? We gonna grow up a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. I just feel like there comes a time in all relationships that you have to make room for change. You have to make room for
yeah.
this. You have
Absolutely,
to understand
absolutely.
that as things grow and as people mature, they grow out of certain things. They don't want to do certain things anymore. And that's perfectly fine. but don't make either person the villain for changing, or
Yeah,
don't make either person the villain for staying the same, right? If I stay
absolutely.
the same, don't make me a villain and like, oh, I'm childish because I still want to go to the club. And don't make me feel like the stick in the mud because I'm like, yeah, I can't do the clubs no more.
Can't do
I'm
it.
getting tired.
But you said something that was really prevalent early on in this conversation about understanding change in relationship. There are other different changes, so we got to make this a series because we're just talking about you changing your lifestyle or some of the things that you used to do together that you don't want to do anymore because you've changed, as that's not who you are. I know
Right.
that's not me anymore, and I don't want to be there. But if you still want to be there, I'm not going to stop you from going. I'm just letting you know that I don't want to be there, and don't take it the wrong way. If I say I don't want to go with you, it's not that I don't want to go with you anymore. That's just not me anymore. I've changed to where I'd rather stay home than being out in the club and being out late at night. For a lot of reasons, because I'm getting older, it's getting dangerous. Club ain't what it used to be.
No,
I don't really trying to get like that, and I'm trying to save some money
I
too.
don't even
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
even
different things.
understand the music anymore. I'm
Yeah,
just
so there's a lot of different levels. There's a lot of different things we have that. So with that, I got to drop the scripture.
yes,
So
let's
what we
get that
got for him
scripture
today,
up.
Harlem Brown? What we got for him today? All right, we got Isaiah 43:19. Can
Yes.
you read that for the audience?
Yes. It says, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Do you not understand that God is
Right.
doing something different, something new? Like we have to be, and that's what I'm saying. Like we got to be open, or we got to make room for change because that's how you grow. And if you're not making room for growth, then I don't like you're gonna stay stagnant, and you don't want to be in a stagnant situation.
But you know what? To me, the key thing in this scripture is now it springs up. And that
Mm,
means to me, it just comes out of nowhere. And you have to be prepared for when it comes out of nowhere to be receptive to that conversation, to understand that I've changed. I'm a different person now. I don't want to do that anymore. And I'd rather do something different, not making you do it. And I'm not putting you on the spot that because I changed, you have to change.
absolutely.
However, I'm letting you know that, hey, I'm moving on to a little different chapter of my life. And I would just like for you to embrace that I am and
Mhm.
treat me as such. And I'll give you all the respect that I can give you for you to continue to do what you want to do. And if you decide that you want to come on to my side, I'm with it. I love it. We can figure out what we can do to fill that void where we can spend time together. Which at the club, we met at the club. We did everything at the club. We had a great time at the club. We danced. We did that. Maybe we can do it somewhere else. Maybe we could do something different to fill
Right.
that void that we have so that we still can spend that quality time together.
And
But
I think that's the issue right there because
yeah,
you used that was your quality time together. So when I
yeah,
said I don't want to do it with you anymore, it meant that I didn't want to spend time with you anymore. That wasn't the case. The case was I just don't want to go to the club anymore. We can find other ways to spend quality time
yeah,
together, but it
yeah,
doesn't have to necessarily be in a club. But to be determined to say, well, whether you do it or not, I'm still going. So that
yeah,
takes away that was our
yeah.
quality time, right? Because now you
Right.
said I got quality time with or without you, right? I'm
Right.
too
Right. And
so
we
it's
get
just
defensive
like,
when it comes to that. Look, we're all human. We get defensive when we come to that. The
yeah,
Harlem Brown and I, we just co-hosts and we just played it together and it played out the way that some couples that it will play out with other couples. And it's like because that's how it escalates because we get defensive. We get like, oh, we don't really what it is we don't understand why they changing and why they're changing on us and why they making something that we was a good thing. Now you taking this good thing away from me because you don't want to go. And that's not the case at all. So please be attentive to your mate and embrace their change and it's a good thing and just know that some may ask you to change but even on the other side if the other person doesn't want to change with you know that that's okay too
Mhm.
That it's perfectly fine. And I think we try to have an end all or be all, like if I change, you better come change with me. And it's not like that. Don't
No.
make your relationship like that. Everybody's an individual still in a relationship. And as this Isaiah 43:19 thing says, see, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up because I'm springing this on you. Do you not perceive it? Can you just get with me to understand that I'm changing, or I'm going about this change? Come, don't, you don't have to come change with me, but I'm going to go with this change. If you want to come, I embrace you. If you don't, I'm still going to meet you where you are. And that's what we have to do in relationships. So I'm gonna give you the last words on this one, Harlem Brown. What you got for me?
I think that in when you're having a change and things, like you said, things do spring up. When you have changes, this is the opportunity to have a conversation to be very transparent in the change, right? Because I
Right.
think sometimes when you're not transparent in the change comes across as, like you said, taking something from me, not wanting to be around me, trying to divide what we had together. So, and it's not necessarily that. So, definitely talk about it, be consistent, be transparent, and also understand that when things spring up and changes spring up, it is our responsibility to definitely make sure that we're both clear on what this change brings and what ways that we can that this change can actually be a great thing for us
Be a great
instead
thing.
of
Right.
looking at it as a negative thing.
Absolutely. And on this podcast, we try to bring a positive vibe. Well, we don't try, we bring a positive vibe so that you can
Yeah.
understand that, hey, positive begets positive and gets you closer to that journey to unconditional love. So as I end on my podcast, how trying to do something will keep you in the same place. But when you actually do something, your place has no limitations. I am your host, the late Boomer. That is my co-host, Harlem Brown. And we see you next week.
See you next week.
Yo.